the human race on a huge spaceship. Something's gone wrong with this planet, and we've all got to leave. We've got a big spaceship, and we're traveling through the universe. And we have a guide who's telling us about all the planets that have been discovered. We pass planet after planet, and they say, now this one, the temperature's a little high. I'm not sure you'd like it. There's no water on the planet. It's about 300 degrees most of the time. No. This one's too cold. This one, there's no land, it's all water. This one, there's no oceans, no water, it's all land. Kind of drying up in the rivers. And they just go on and on and on like that. And then they come to one, they say, now this one is very much like the earth that you came from physically. It's got mountains, and it's got valleys, it's got farmland, it's got oceans, it's got all kinds of nice scenery, it's got all sorts of good stuff. But there's just one thing. There's a law on that planet that if anything can go wrong, it will. Would you like to stop at this planet? What do you think? I see somebody shaking their head. No, thank you. I don't want to go to a place where if anything can go wrong, it will. I'd take a little warmer temperature or a little cooler. Why isn't it fair? Well, our first message to people is, that's not the way God designed it. That's not God's plan. That's not the way He made it. That's not the way He wants it. That's not the way He's going to leave it. It's not the way He made it in the past. Don't put it on Him. It's not the way He likes it now. Don't put it on Him. And it's not the way He's going to leave it. He's working on it, and it will change. Now that's a powerful message. There's another angle, however, to this business of whether life is fair or not. There are some preachers on the radio who say, you don't want fair. If life were fair, God would smash you. You'd be burned to a crisp. You're no good. You're sinners. You know, all of that. Have you heard that before? You don't want justice. If you got justice, you'd be pulverized. Look at all the things you've done. Look at all your mess. You know, and they tell you what sinners you are. Well, that's not very good news, is it? Yeah, life is going to be fair and you'll be sorry. Well, what do we really want then? We want fairness in one sense, but we don't want that brand of fairness, do we? And happily, what God offers is what we came after some rowdy back and forth noises throughout the room where nobody knew who was saying what last Sunday night. We came to the idea that perhaps we should call what God offers, well, how many of you are members of AAA? Anybody here a member of AAA? Yeah, quite a few. How many of you signed up for their program called AAA Plus? You got that? Well, we decided that our message to the world is kind of fairness plus. We've got something to add. It's fairness plus forgiveness. Fairness plus mercy. Fairness plus grace. Fairness plus grace, mercy, and peace be to you. Fairness plus God loves you. Fairness plus forgiveness. How does that sound? Do you think you could sell that? When I was very, very, very young, I for a job, and living in Doylestown, and I just looked at the ads in the paper, and there was a job for salesman of a kind of vacuum cleaner. I forget what brand, happily. And I went to this meeting where prospective salesmen were going to be indoctrinated or go through the training session. And they told me about the vacuum cleaner, and they told me about its price. And they said, now, you know, it's not the best vacuum cleaner in the world, but you have to present it as though it's the best. And to do that, we have to sing songs about the vacuum cleaner. I kid you not. And they handed out sheets, and we were all led in the chorus of singing songs about this vacuum cleaner. I went home. Can't do that. No, you can't sell something that you can't sell. But can you sell that God is fair? Life, He wants life to be more than fair. You have as good a chance as anybody. It won't be unfair. It won't be unfair. But in addition to the fairness, there will be forgiveness. It's fairness plus. Everything unfair will go. Everything unfair will go. God doesn't want anything unfair. Nobody will be put in a position of, well, that's not fair. Nobody will be put in a kind of back of the bus position. Everything unfair will go. That's God's message. All unfairness will be forgotten, destroyed, wiped out, eliminated. And instead of the kind of fairness which looks at you and examines you for all your faults, ready to slam some kind of penalty on it, instead of that, you are looked at with love and grace and mercy and peace, forgiveness. Well, why isn't life perfect? Why doesn't God do that? Well, our first element in our message is that this mess is not God's doing. Our second element is there's an enemy. Why isn't it perfect? If God is in control, God is not in control. You know, our problem is not so much getting people to believe in God as getting people to believe in Satan. We have to get people to believe that there's another great power. The source of evil in the world is Satan. He's the one who started the rebellion. He's the one that sold Adam and Eve on it. He's the one that perpetuates it now. He's the prince of this world, and he's the prince of demons. There is a great cosmic war going on. Put it that way. First point, all the unfairness is not from God. Second,